So, I'm a little upset. Right now, I'm in college, and it's too much, dude. I'm playing Minecraft. This is probably the worst spawn I could have gotten. But yeah, guys, I don't know. I'm just really upset. I'm doing college, don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. Um, and I just want to talk about that, really. I took a test today for a statistics class, which, by the way, I hate statistics. I hate math. Math was never my thing. And the fact that I can't escape it no matter how hard I try, or I try to actually understand it and I just don't, I don't understand. So obviously I failed the test. I'm failing that class. And I can't believe this is the system. I don't know. I kind of always knew that the way we were told as people to live our lives, I always kind of knew that it was just all stupid. It was all bullshit. I mean, there's more to life than working for 60 years of your life just to retire and get a thank you letter. And that's the thing, is that I don't want to live that life. Because, like, from a young age... Dude, this music's getting too fucking obnoxious. Sorry, I thought it was gonna be cool to turn it up, but I'm turning that shit way down. Okay, whatever. As I was saying, life is so valuable and so precious for that to be it. You can't just... I don't know. I'm not subscribed to the theory that you work for a degree and then, you go to school for 16 years, you're supposed to know what you want to be by the time you graduate. And if you don't, well, that's fine. Go to community college, you'll figure it out. And even if you don't figure it out, then it's fine. Right? Because at least you got your gen eds out of the way, right? Bullshit. Bullshit, dude. Right? I didn't want to go to college. I really didn't, but I'm kind of pressured by my relatives to go. And I literally said, I don't want to do college. Like, I don't know what I want to do or be. I don't know what career I want to pursue. And so I just, I don't want to go to college. I want to take a gap year. But nonetheless, I'm in college right now, and I hate it. I'm miserable. I hate it. I have no aim. Kind of like how right now I am in this freaking bamboo field. I have no aim. I have no sense of purpose. And I don't know what career I could possibly pursue. What the fuck is that? Oh, they're just fish. But I don't want to be... I don't want to be miserable. And I can tell you this right now. A lot of people I've met or not a lot of people, but, a lot of times you hear stories of people who they're working in a cramped office desk job. And they're high prestige. And, that's good for them. Maybe they wanted to get there, but they end up retiring and they end up becoming, 70 years old or whatever. And they hate life. They hate this shit. They hate living like this. Because guess what? They didn't go for their dreams. They didn't pursue what they wanted to pursue. They just went with what was safe. They played it safe. And okay, they won the safe game. But they hate it. They're miserable. Right? Because the American dream, it isn't even about being successful anymore. It's just about working. The American dream is literally just go to school, figure out your purpose, go to college to study that purpose, that degree, and you'll be good, right? But even that's kind of in my opinion, that's bullshit. Because I don't want to be a worker. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. That's so stupid. I want to do what I want to do. I want to be what I'm meant to be. And I think genuinely I'm meant to be nothing short of great and successful. And, I don't believe in manifestation. I believe in hard work and prayer. So I know I'm not going to get what I want just by blabbering about it. But I am going to get what I want with hard work and dedication. Because ultimately, I don't see myself doing that shit. Submitting to a system that has proven time again that it's just kind of all bullshit. Submitting yourself to, work for the rest of your life. That sounds so miserable to me. Right? Get a degree, get a prestigious job, and then work the rest of your life. You get every weekend off, right? At least you get every weekend off, and you get maybe 2 weeks of vacation in the whole year. But that's it. You're working for someone. And the crazy thing is that you're working for the person that didn't go to college. Right? Well, probably. You're probably working for the person that didn't believe in college, that didn't believe in, all that stuff. That didn't believe in the system and if you submit to that lifestyle, you're basically working for people like me who had an idea, and it was that I don't want to do this. I don't want to join the system. I don't want to just amount to a worker. Because ultimately, you can argue with me, you can say whatever you want, but ultimately that's what the school system, the education system, the college system, all of that, it's all just shaping you and preparing you to be a worker, right? You get a degree, which is just a piece of paper, after 4 years of struggle and hard work. And depending on what it is, unless it's like nursing or policing, right? Nursing, policing, engineering, like unless it's those, everything else is really just, you're just taking these classes for the sake of the degree. And it doesn't actually help you. Like unless you want to be a nurse, unless you want to be an engineer, or a police officer or something of the such, you know, who help better society, keep society good. Unless you want to be those, for the most part, everything you're going to college for, all those classes you take, they don't help you. You don't end up using that knowledge at all in the slightest. Like business, for example. I thought I wanted to be a business major, but going into it, there's so much math. And the thing is with business is like stats. I hate stats. I hate the stats class. I hate math. I hate all of that. But you have to take it. I don't understand how, because, you know, I'm not built for this. I'm not built for math. I can't understand it. But we live in a world where you have to know it in order to succeed in life. And that is so unfair. That is probably the biggest tragedy of our world today, is that if you don't understand, if you don't get it, if you are having trouble, then you're behind. And nobody's going to wait for you. Right? Right? You're one of the less prestigious. And that is so sad that is the mindset. I hate it. And you know what? Because of that mindset, I want to succeed, because I want to say, no, I want to be the better person. I want to be the one that everyone looks at for inspiration, that everyone says he did it right, you know? Because everybody's just working for a boss. I want to be my own boss. You know what I mean? I don't want to be bossed by somebody who kind of decided, you know what, I don't want to do this, right? I'm going to be that person. I'm not going to work for that person. Because ultimately, you get a degree, and, you know, the most of the knowledge you learned in school won't really help you. You don't really use it in real life or in work, which is kind of weird. Like statistics, you know, you take a statistics class, you bust your ass trying to figure that shit out, just for you to take business statistics next semester and for him to say, oh, you remember all that shit? Yeah, forget it. What? What do you mean, forget it? I just busted my ass trying to learn all of these complex formulas and all of that shit, and now you're telling me forget it? Now you're telling me there's just a website I can enter in the equation and it does it for me? Or I can just ask the website the question and it does it for me. What kind of scam is that? If that's the case, why do we have the level 1 statistics? Genuinely. So that's just an example of the absolute retardism that I've noticed in school, in college, right? I don't know. I don't want to do that. That's not interesting to me, right? I don't see how any of that shit will help me in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue with life, doing things to make money, and we'll see where it takes me. Because college, even if you're just going for gen eds, dude, you're going for what, right? You don't understand what you want to be in life. Right? Everyone would ask me, what do you want to be? What do you want to study in college? Or what do you want to do? What's your major? I'll say, oh, I'm undecided. I'm just doing my gen eds. And they'll say, oh, that's good. At least you're getting your gen eds out of the way. Because then, when you do a degree, then you'll be able to apply that to whatever degree you go for. But that's the thing. I don't want to go for a degree. Because all these degrees, all of these courses, all these majors, they're literally just there for one purpose, and it's to make you a worker. It's to make you just kind of become a a mindless robot. And AI is already that. AI is a mindless robot. So why can't we just make AI do the work for us? Which it will. It's going to replace everyone. It's going to replace every job known to man. You can name any job, I bet you AI is replacing it in the next 5 decades. Not even. So what's really the point? What's really the point of going to school and getting a degree? If this was the 1970s or before that, if this was the 1940s to the 1970s, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm behind that, right? I want to get a degree. I want to pursue a job because those jobs, they would actually get you money that would, you could survive by. You could live by. You could make a good living off of that shit. You could live a happy life. That's what the American dream was. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. Nowadays, the prestigious jobs of the 70s and before, those prestigious, wonderful jobs, nowadays that's just scratching by. Right? Nowadays you're just scratching by. You're just barely making it. Right? It's enough to pay rent and to put food on the table. Right? But no, you probably won't be able to go on vacation because you don't have the money for it, and you only have 2 weeks of it anyways in the whole year, right? Bullshit, dude. Actually retarded. And I've known for a while that the way the world works is kind of just pointless. I've known for a while that it's all just kind of useless. There's not really any point to a lot of it. There's not really any meaning to a lot of these things. Here's the thing, I'm glad I at least went to high school, because high school is okay, at least go to high school, right? Most jobs will say you need a high school degree, or a high school, up to high school experience. Most jobs will say that. Did you graduate from high school? So at least go to high school, get a job, and from there, figure yourself out. Now, here's the thing. I'm not talking shit about the people who genuinely, they want to pursue a degree in college, and they have a passion for something, and you have to go to college for it. I'm not talking shit about those people, because if that's your idea of an ideal life, go right ahead. That's not my idea. I don't want to do that. But if you do, I don't judge you. Okay? I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're okay with mediocrity. All right, your dream is my backup plan. I don't know. And I'm not saying I want to be a lazy prick and do nothing. What I'm saying is I just want to be happy in life. And I can't be happy with the way the world is set up, with the way everything is set up. Because the way it is set up is so unfair, dude. Right? Nobody's happy anymore. I want to do something that makes me passionate and I can make money off of it. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to be. Is the best version of myself that I possibly can be. And I'm not going to get that with a degree. I'm not going to get that with an office job that makes me miserable, right? I'm not going to make enough money to be able to live freely with just doing that, because I'm not free. I'm enslaved. I'm enslaved by, I don't even know who's in charge anymore. And I want to be able to give to those who need help. I want to be able to give to charity and help others prosper. I don't want to be a loser, you know, and I don't want to disappoint people. I want to do what I'm passionate about, which I think is, you know, content creation. Right now it's content creation, and I want to do music as well, and I want to be creative and innovative, and I just want to be great, you know? And I don't see myself being great the way that the world is prescribed. Next video will be a lot more cheerful, I think. I just needed to get some off my chest. Yeah, guys, like and subscribe for more. Later.